So I don't even just know where I left off because it takes a few minutes to upload to YouTube. So I do something else and just you copy it. Basic idea. Okay, my fear, my huge fear yesterday is they're only going to go back to 2014, when I had 2 jobs, like less than a month worth of work. My therapist was like, no, like they're not going to ignore your long-term work history. And she was like, if there's any issue, Sean, that's it, Dr. Allen, and I will support you. Aaron, there's an appeal process beyond this process. Like, there's the first round where you get rejected, like everybody gets rejected. And then if you have the fortitude to stick it out about 2 years, then you get what I had yesterday, a hearing for a judge. And then if you don't like this judge's ruling, then you go to a higher judge. I have no idea how long that process takes. And I guess if I got to that point, I'd be like, I have an impeccable history of quitting and getting fired from jobs, and I misunderstood a date question, and that's it. That's it. That's the only thing standing in my way. But like, I don't want to get to that far. I don't know how long it'll take. We're moving, although it's federal. It's a federal system, so I could do it in Oregon. Anyway, I can't even comprehend that. I'll do it if I have to, but okay, so that's anxiety. I really wanted Paul to call just to see, like, what does this mean? But I also knew that would get some mumbly, bored paralegal. They're not very impressive. My panic grew and grew. Paul fed my panic. I mean, not intentionally. God, was there something else I needed to say? Lawyer, date, history, therapist. Oh. So after all this, talking to her and stuff, I was like, is it really possible that like they're gonna go by like 10 days? Like, let's say they really do only look at 2014. Oh, one of the things that my lawyer was like, I was like, well, my history and everything, and he was like, if you were able to work for 2 years or more, then that means you were not mentally ill, because you could work 2 years or more. And I don't have a job where I work 2 years or more, including Linda. I didn't work at Linda's that long, and I would have kept working at Linda's if I hadn't gotten pregnant, but I didn't. But like, he kept saying that. And he's like, if you've been working, then you're not mentally ill, and like the whole point of this is to show that you're mentally ill because you can't work, or that you get disability money because you can't work because you're mentally ill or physically ill. Anyway, I was like, how can they hold that against me? Like, I really. Anyways, so are they going to consider, because I left Linda's job in a state of non-mental illness but of pregnancy, that I was not mentally ill then nor ever? Even it's fucking confusing and weird. I don't understand. So I'm assuming my therapist has some experience with this. I mean, she must. She's a therapist. So I'll talk about this more with her, but I take my Klonopin, talk to my therapist, and like I still need calming. And I was like, I look up, I was like, how is social disability money distributed? Like, is it for my own little paychecks? Like, I only get what I put in, which would be negligible in that amount of time, or even in my whole life of working. And what I read on Social Security website was that everybody who works a job that is legitimate, where you're paying, doing W-2s and everything, is paying Social Security, it means you're putting it into a big pot that is for everybody. And so it's for the old people when they retire, they get theirs. It's for disabled people. It's a fund that is for all. So it would not be based on my paychecks, but I would think that the income that you made in your life would affect what you get. Like, I don't understand how they pay out how much money you're going to get and what exactly is that based on. I now realize it's not based on your, if it wouldn't be based on like the 3 paychecks that I got in 2014. But it couldn't be, like, if they're only looking at 2014, it wouldn't be that. But how could it be much more? God, it gives me, I'm so stressed out because this has been a long process. And yesterday, before I started freaking out, I was telling Paul, I was like, I did great and everything. Paul's like, oh, this would be so good. Like, maybe like with your disability and then you got a part-time job, maybe I could still work part-time, like we could get by, or something, like. And I was like, well, I don't know how much money I'm getting, but he's like, okay, I know, but like it'll help so much, especially if you also get a part-time job. So it's just stressful. I feel like there's something stupid I wanted to say. Oh, okay. Goodbye, Social Security. I'm in knots over it right now. Like, just thinking about it. I know that I tend to, catastrophize, black and white thinking, anxiety, negative, expect the worst, fear that I've done wrong, that I've made a mistake and I've ruined everything. That's where my mind goes. That's why I need to get into mindfulness. Well, I'm already doing medication therapy, so, but there you go. Like, that's where my mind, that's like, ooh, I might have to take a Klonopin today. I'm going to try not to. It's raining out. Poppy's like on her videos. We already made, she's got this little carrot patch she grew, and they actually all grew, like thumb size. And they're the most delicious carrots you have ever eaten in your life. The most flavorful. And she was down to like 5 carrots, and they had huge carrot tops, greens. And I looked up, I was like, can you eat these? And I looked up, and I'm not, and you can eat them raw, they're bitter, or you can saute them like any green. So today, Poppy and I, there's just a few carrots and they're very tiny, so we cooked them in butter and olive oil until they softened, added the greens, looked good. And it was so disgusting to both of us. The greens, the carrots are fine. Revolting. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, I cooked them in a simple way that I would cook any green vegetable or leafy green. Okay, anyway, it said something positive that I did with Poppy, like a little bonding thing, but now she's on the videos, and okay, it's raining. I don't know what I'm going to do with her, but I've got to, like, not let her do that all day for me to, like, wallow on the phone or whatever, or take long naps. And then I'm anxious about Paul because all of a sudden right before he leaves work, he's like, I'm going to be late tonight. I was like, why? He's like, John Payne's, it's his friend from high school, is a filmmaker, has a short film and it's won a bunch of awards, and tonight's the last night it's playing, and I really want to go, and it starts at 9:30. And so I was like, okay, like, that's cool. I'm happy for John Payne's. But then afterwards I was like, it's probably a short film, like half hour. So I'm like, it'll be done at 10. He's not going to just like leave and go home. He's going to talk to John Payne's. He's going to go to a bar with John Payne's. That's what happened last time when I was there. Like, they all the buddies got together and, like, which is nice. It's social and it's fine. But I have anxiety. Just anxiety. I don't disapprove of him doing this. I want him to do this. But I'm anxious. God. Oh, I have a couple of minutes. Okay. So forget about me and my anxieties. And I saw a picture of Mary Kate Olsen the other day, and she looked radically different. Her head was like really long and like a weird shape. She had I can't even do it, like sucked in, really high cheekbones, high forehead, smooth and Botoxy. Her eyes were smaller. She looked older. I was like, what the fuck? So I went on a Googling binge. And this actually happened in 2012. And I looked at a timeline of her and like, yeah, okay, when she was like 18 or 20 in 2003, she looked fresh-faced and she hadn't gotten into that bag lady look yet. And she's beautiful. And all through the years, even as her style changes into greasy hair and weird baggy clothes, her face has a very distinctive shape, kind of wide down here, and a somewhat big nose. Oh, it's not, her nose is thin now, and big eyes, and similar to Ashley, but I always felt much more beautiful based on like her face shape. I always thought that Ashley was just a little more boring looking, although Ashley's got like super bug eyes. This has been going on for a few years. I don't know how I missed it. I mean, I'm not that in touch with pop culture, but I read Data Lounge, and I would think that they would have been on this. That's my source of anything. And did you know this? And the pictures I've seen of her recently, she's got her hair back in a really severe, greasy ponytail. And her face is just like, a cheekbones are like that. Only completely skinny. It's fucked up looking. It's not her. And she looks older than her sister. And she's married to the president of France, and he's like 7 feet tall. And we know this, right? And it's creepy. And he has a teenage daughter who they look about the same size. Mary Kate maybe a little smaller. So that her life has got to be completely insane. But why did she do it? It makes me sad, even though she's a billionaire that I don't know, and if we met, she would disdain me. I feel sad that she ruined her looks. I mean, if she only ever looked like that, I guess you would say she's distinctive. But she used to have like a wideness down here in a cool way. I can't explain it. You know what I mean. It's gone. I gotta go.